To be honest with you guys, I don't know where the G2 we knew went. I don't know what ended up happening here. I think that they really just got shook on the stage this big, going up in a position on the opponent's map pick 8-4 on an attack half and not being able to close it out is bad news. They've been running this no duelist composition all season long, basically, with the integration of Icy. This is a absolute phenomenal map for them. I really saw when I saw this map pool, I thought this was a 2 OG2, and I'm so serious. Icebox top map for them. Hard comp to deal with, a map that Valen can slow the game down on, work things, take his time, and then this pocket pick of Abyss, just trying to catch a team off. In terms of who's going to win this event, I thought it would be the team who kind of figures out Abyss and abuses it the hardest. Not necessarily that you have to have it involved in every single game that you play, but if you are in a position where your Abyss is good and the enemy team has to ban that because they don't cover it, like it's a perma for them, that means that they can't skill ban you. They can't ban one of your top maps. You know, they can't ban one of your maps you've been consistent at all season. They have to ban that. They have to flex it, right? So something to consider there. Again, just really interesting detail on. I think G2 were here to play initially, and it slowly fades away, and they let it slip. They ended up losing in the Americas final to Leviatán, and I thought that this was going to be a big grudge match for them, and it was going to be personal. But Leviatán today came out and showed that they're not messing around anymore, and the slip ups that they had on the international stage, they're not tolerating it any longer. They're here to play, and we're going to see that specifically in this round in a 5v5 situation here, where they're going to go into the bomb site where Texas utility is. I don't think they're going to expect everybody necessarily here. They do have 3. Scaling utility comes through, going to get a couple pings. Trades go even. 4v4, Valen pushing a wall left, and now they're going to go fight right. Cove's going to get dropped. The thing that I don't like here is just the fact that they have plenty of time. I think Trent needs to pitch the bomb to Valen. He needs to plant in the cove, and then Trent can either stay in the cove with him, or he could be in a position where he kind of watches it from afar. I want to see him greed this Hunter's Fury here and put himself in a position where he can really use this. Does he need to use it to frag and get kills? Sure. Okay, does he need to use it to win the round in the post plant? Sure. Anything like that can be good. I don't like the fact that Leaf instantly wrapped here. I think that this is potential tendency abuse, where at any point in time, if Tex dies, then Leaf is just going to go wrap. That might just be his plan. Yo, the Killjoy's dead. I'm going to go flank, right? So he kind of pulls out a little early, putting them in a position where Valen's only going to go 1-for-1, and Trent's now going to be stuck here. So no help, no holding cross from belt or anything like that. Com's going to walk out. This guy had a game today, okay? This guy, not single-handedly, but put Leviatán in a position where they could actually win. Okay, pretty unreal performance. So Leaf gets caught on the wrap there by Aspas. Has to just run forward, puts King down to 1. Jonah 1v3. He's good for these. He's going to get 1, but he's vulnerable. Com's able to clean it up. And that is kind of the beginning of the end there for G2. Even though they're up right now 5 rounds, we're going to see it. Watch the way that Leviatán are going to swarm them after this icy death. He gets caught in the high tide and the Viper's wall at the same time. 4v3 here. Killjoy online. G2 are a little antsy. They know that they're going to have to fight here. The drone tag is going to come through here, calling the solo run through. Valen sitting there waiting to help. He gets picked off. Leaf dead, angling out. 4v1 here for Jonah. There's no place to play. They had him pinned down on front sight and in that maze position the entire time. There's nowhere to go. I can't actually prove it to you here, but I think that this is an actual anti-strat from Leviatán. I think that they know that G2 go into Viper's ults with the Thrash, and I think they're baiting them to do it here. So look at the spot that Tex is in. Very uncharacteristic, right? Usually you're going to see the Viper play this pit by themselves, maybe with a piece of Killjoy util, and that's really it. They don't really need help in this setting. So the ult is very deep. Thrash is going to come in with a recon. King shoots the molly and gets detained, baiting fully. Tex good for 2. Trying to live, trying to stall. No help actually coming through. Ends up getting 2 with the shorty. Icy gets killed by Mazzino. And Leviatán are looking alive. All this momentum that G2 has is just fading away, and it's fading fast. The storyline here is just insane. Tex against his former team that ended up moving on without him in this season when they got an org, moving into franchising. 2v4 here. He's good for 2. Mazzino unable to convert, but puts Leaf down to 1. Wall's going to go up here, which I really don't like. Jonah's going to get close with it. He's one shot to Deagle. Tex 4 in the chamber. Jonah, rare miss there. Leaf trying to defuse, no good. Tex with 4. Leviatán get 5 on the board here. Piss around 1, and momentum is now just slashed from G2. It's like they never even played the first half. So the second time that we've seen this wall here now come out from G2. Looks like some sort of game plan approach to abuse how the harbor works. So 4 people on the A site here against the bonus. Look at Valen's forward positioning. What I don't like here is just not necessarily miscommunication, but not being on the same page. I think we need to abandon this rafter post if a player's in this position, right? This just needs to be a protocol, you know, something along the lines of that, where when someone gets into this forward spot, we need to abandon the initial setup or play we had, because that's what it was, right? Hold, rafter, up, down, make sure no one peeks and gets a kill here. We need to now be in forward positions, okay? Moving up to the orb, moving up to jail. Okay, Icy is top pipes here, which is good, but we need to be able to play off him. We need to be able to capitalize, right? The Dizzy's online. The moment that Valen gets contact or has to peek, we throw that Dizzy, we peek as 2 or 3, we clean these guys up, right? We have the Snakebite online, Shocks online, Mosh online if we need to flush a corner. Anything like that could be really good, and we don't see that G2 that we've always seen. Valen only good for 1 here. Could have triggered a spin there, but at the end of the day, you know, he just rushes it. I have no idea how you'd feel in, you know, playoffs at playing on a, you know, level this high. So at the end of the day, I understand it. Not my biggest complaint in the entire world. They're going to keep their strong side of A here. Drone is going to get a tag on a player backing up, and I think that's going to slowly kind of like make them think that, you know, it might be B here. So Leaf sitting with Outlaw. We've seen this guy abuse it all season long. He's going up against 2 people who are light armor right now. He preemptively pops the mollies on the high tide, which is really good here. Cove is going to go down, but there's no plant. So Leaf is going to call, yo, that's weird. You know, they use the high tide, they use the cove, okay, the things you do to get the bomb down, and there hasn't even been a tap. There's not even any utility being used. You know, care, you know, your mid lurk, care like your A lurk right now. So even though it is even footing, I think that G2 kind of have an advantage in terms of information.
They're holding their ground.
Sitting, waiting, trying to work the outlaw. Mazino's going to take a risk here because they're on a bonus. They're allowed to do this. You can play in the risk here. You can make a, you know, stupid play like solo pushing like this, right? Leaf's going to get caught off and fall. Now he's probably going to, you know, eventually say, you know, it might be B here, it might be B. So Aspas sitting and waiting, doesn't really need to do anything right now. He walks out, getting in a good spot, seeing if he can kill someone running away or rotating off. When the bomb gets planted, that kind of confirms it. Jonah trying to back up, he's dead. Full containment on the G2 players here, and a harbor ult used to win this round and start going forward. So G2 are now going to be far behind in terms of the economy game, in terms of the ult game, and they're going to be in a really tough spot. And again, Leviatán here are just pushing on the bonus. They don't want Icy to save, right? Look at the money that's online. If Icy saves, you know, he can bring this gun into the next round and potentially play 4, 2, 1, 1, $400, 2.3, 2.9, 2.5, 3.1. These guys can die right now. They want to push and kill him because he has the gun. They want to put themselves in a spot where when they win this round, they're up 7-8. G2 have another Deagle anti-eco, you know, no hero gun. Now they get up to 8-8, and now they're in a position where they can abuse ults on this 8-8 round, right? Go up 9-8. Again, anti-eco 10-8. So the snowball just does not stop forming for Leviatán. And here we are talking about how important keeping the Vandal is on that anti-eco. Icy's going to get a first blood with it. Valen will fall, but he's facing with 3 of his boys here. Leaf with the full containment now, trying to get on the same page. Icy gets a second with the gun. Again, not doing that with a Sheriff on this round. Huge that he saved the gun. Thrash being used. We know that we use ults to win rounds. Jonah trying to finish off Calm. Leaf gets the backstab. Potential regrettable body spray coming out there. G2 ready to retake this B bomb site here with the Reckoning. I think the thing that I don't like about this is that they don't have a weak side. You know, there's no one coming from B main. There's no one really holding the spawn wall. So they're kind of just taking this fight where these positions are all, you know, basically giving Leviatán a spot where they can contain them, right? They have the front, they have the back. They're just squished in the middle. They didn't really have a lot of space to work with here. And I think that they kind of like overcooked like this situation. No ults online right now for Leviatán. So Viper's Pit, maybe Harbor's ult, maybe Sova ult online. You know, I'm a little like more concerned if I'm G2, but I think they could have tried to, you know, maybe like slow it down, get some more info before they end up ripping this, and make sure that Trent's in a position where he can actually capitalize off of it, because they are retaking only as 4 here, potentially going into 5, so they're in the man disadvantage in this situation. And we're going to see that kind of exactly happen here. So a lot of people peeking through the wall here, slowed. Leviatán good for 2, G2 only for 1. Another 2 for Mazzino. So that's a 4 for 1 trade ratio out there. Trent left in a really hard clutch to win. Mazzino just over peeking. And Leviatán, kind of erased that thrifty off of the board for G2. Sometimes this is how the kill feed's going to go. A different day, these deagle shots and stinger shots are hitting. But, I mean, take a look at the top right there. Not a single kill in that 4v4 scenario with guns blazing. Leviatán are doing some excellent job in the B post plan. The post plan in general here, they should have a really good idea of what they want to do against G2. So Icy getting first blooded there. Leaf just trying to drop his ult. He doesn't realize that they're playing for the bomb site. The reason they're playing for the bomb site in this situation because he has his ult, right? We see this wall come out here from Mazzino being in a position where he's taking away this kind of like, orange under tube help and trying to cut off like the kitchen help where they can infest the bomb site and they can make sure that Leaf doesn't get a good ult down, right? They want to use the positions like danger and yellow and like this front white area to defend the spike being planted there. So again, great approach there where it's just so hard for G2. They have no space to actually work with. Tech's just messing around in mid, just wasting so much time and baiting Utel out. Jonah's left in a 1v4. We've seen this multiple times so far for G2 where they're just dropped in an unwinnable situation because of, the core, the pack of players just falling apart there. Jonah unable to save. Leviatán up to 11. Tying the game up here. Having 2 thrifty wins so far, G2. They're going to be in a position where Calm is going to make a massive mistake. He is going to overcomplicate the shit out of this situation, just doing the thing where he just spins the karambit as fast as possible and does a triple, double, quadruple reposition, trying to flank and have some crazy timing on where he wants to go. He's got to tone it down with this stuff. He's got to tone it down because there are going to be times where his team isn't going to be there to bail him out. So he breaks the turret, right? Great. He's going to run away from this because he doesn't want to be killed on the clear. Whether someone's lurking mid or they're going to come back and they're going to clear all of A main, he can use all of this space as bait. Okay, mid, outside A, lower A, by the nest position. He could be in a spot where, he goes all the way up to like, top nest here, and he just sits in front of the killjoy setup, right? And he's in a spot where, again, he can hear them running up. He can kind of spot if they're coming up. It's not like he's going to be in a position where he's completely out of the round. If he really wants to stay forward, maybe jiggling this lower position here can be good. If you hear the footsteps, you can, again, back up and play behind the wall or the utility and play, because look at the strong side that's in play. Right? You want them to go to be here. If you jeopardize the round, it's just literally over, right? The containment is lost. Our strong side is no longer strong anymore, and just watch what's happening. Rope take, movement, hop, still running with his knife out, and then there's just this. I just have no idea, like, why you would ever even do that. The timing was not there. It's not like someone broke the turret for you and ran away and then you were sitting here holding. You completely jeopardized the situation, again, by having this 4 stack on B. This is a lovely, lovely setup here that Leviatán have. They have huge info through him that they're going B, so don't jeopardize it, Calm. Just take it easy, man. Leviatán have been consistently packing up on one of the either A or B, using a lot of utility and making so much noise for techs to make plays. G2 have some sort of game plan here where they've been playing Leaf on the very weak side a lot, either knowing that Leviatán just love to end A all the time or something like that, but at the end of the day, they gave techs a lot of room to play here. So Leaf does have everything covered, technically, right? He has the tube, right? He has under tube, and he has his B main. So the only possible route here is this pallet route going to A. So, you guys have 4 people over there. You can at least be responsible for one of those spots, right? I got to cover everything else. So that's the plan.
It's their playground.
Pump is going to come through here, again, making a bunch of noise. They see 2 or 3 players. Counter drone comes out. Wall's being used. Tex is going to audibly fall into mid here. I don't. He's just trying to take a timing. It's going to be heard because we're going to see a ping come out here, either from Jonah or Trent. Someone's in a position where, how are we going to clear this guy? Does IC want to literally fully sprint, run over here, and use Dizzy or use Wingman? I think that's fine. I think that overinvestment is totally fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think it keeps the game safe, right? Don't give him a chance to make a play. You're about to win right here and right now. If that's the case, why is Jonah walking up by himself? Why is Trent shift walking with his knife out to Boiler? And why does Icy have his knife out? This makes no sense. We have a 3v1 here where we could just bomb this guy out with some util if we just ran over there a little, quicker with some urgency. And this guy's never going to be able to make this play. But he's going to get the first blood on the Jonah. No fuel in play. Reposition's coming through here. Now the wingman's going to come to clear mid.
The spike out towards B, the
alarm bot pinged. Anti-plant utility there. He's going to pre-pop it because he hears all the spamming. He doesn't want to let them sit and break it. Mazzino's sitting in mid. 4v4 situation. Clock getting low. Leaf top site. Aspas again top yellow. He's played here a lot. Going for a spam here. Almost punished. No fuel in play. No one way, no wall. All we got is the harbor utility. So Mazzino's gone through, whiffing on the turret a little bit here. Leaf trying to take a fight. Entertaining it a little too much. We got to pick one here. Are we going to push out and play yellow, or are we going to go clear him? Aspas peaks on timing. The wall took away the sight lines of G2 there. They're unable to trade. 4v2 now with Icy falling on the recon. Trent trying to make a play, no good. 4v1 for Valen. And just off that slip up in mid, where we lose Jonah, we lose that retake molly, everything spirals out of control. G2 with another chance to close this out here. A lot of utilities being pumped on A. They're trying to draw the resources out. Now, in this anti-B plant setup, they're going to try to break Leaf's alarm bot where it was, but Leaf switched it up here. So on that timing, look at the kind of info lines that are in play here, specifically for G2. This is a huge question mark. This is a question mark. This is a question mark. They don't have anything. There's no A, there's no B, there's no mid, right? It's all just kind of like a mix. No strong side, no weak side, kind of just 2-1-2 here, just existing, kind of waiting for something to happen, wherever they go, we can kind of like move around. Shock being used for that position. I thought it was going to be to try to break the plant there, but no good. Calm, jiggling, angling out. No resistance there. Bomb's going to get planted. Mazzino's going to get chunked a little bit here, but Leviatán are in a position where they're going to use their bodies here soon. High Tide's going to get them a lot of space screens, and G2 are going to be in a tough spot where instead of expending their utility for places like, maze, front sight like they normally do, they're going to have to use it for screens. They're going to have to use it for a back sight. They're not going to have a lot to be able to actually clean this round up with the amount of time that's left. Mosh going to come through. Wingman going to come through. Getting ready to peek off the flash here. They had a break. No one ends up going through. It's just a bunch of spam. Time being lost. Kind of a team molly almost there. Doesn't necessarily hit anybody, but forces them into a lower funnel of space. 2v1 for Leaf. 1v1, ult online. Looking for calm. No good. Itopanta's had some insane timeouts this game. This is another one where he's going to be in a position, not necessarily that he's going to win it, but I think he has like a great adjustment going on here. Aspas getting this deep B line. They're going to be able to create a really strong side A, and normally if they were in a 2-1-2, Jonah might just be the closer in this situation here, but unfortunately he's going to get caught out here by kind of like how the wall looks and works. So the pressure's still being applied, goes through, no good. That's two backs turned to him. Mazzino ends up flicking him and killing him. 5v4 now. Drone confirming 2 or 3 positions there. Look at Aspas now taking that space. Com's going to get into the bomb site now. He's interested in facing the guys. He does not want to let them get set up and potentially play a post plant. G2 are going to slowly move away with the understanding that they're probably contained. The drone saw a lot of them, so they're going to walk clear a lot of positions here and see if they can catch someone off. I think if Aspas had a better game, maybe he doesn't play it like this. Maybe he isn't going to go so slow and disciplined. But here he is anyway. Anti-scale molly coming out there. Dizzy's lost, just out of the round. 4v4 here. Cove being used to plant. Valen taking an early 1v1. Plant reposition off of the mid pressure. A lot of damage going out here onto G2. They're losing armor. Valen traded out by Trent. A little bit of a missed peek there. Leaf's going to get into a great position here, trying to get close. Shock's going to pressure. 3v3 now. Even footing. Leaf looking for more. Not able to find it. Put down to 1 HP here. Sitting and waiting. Unreal shot there. Icy timing. Not really sure where he looked at there. Aspas 1v1. Leaf 1 HP. Trying to jump spot, trying to jiggle. Can't close it out. Unbelievable map so far. Another 5v5 retake. I mean, how many times are we going to see it on this map? It's just so good to do. They finally test the B retake here, Leviatán. VALORANT getting a first blood here, putting the pressure on a little far forward in front of his teammates. No one really facing there with him. Wingman's going to go on. Look at the spray there from King. Understands that he can only be on the middle. Drop to a 3v1 on the molly on the bomb. No chance to close. G2 lose map 1. On our second map of Abyss here, I do like the Yoru specifically from G2. The Viper is something that I don't know how I feel fully about it yet, but I do think that this comp is good at the end of the day. They excel at slowing the game down. They can also speed the game up. The trip break potential is there. They have the flash, they have the recon, they have the controller utility, they have the second controller utility if they need it. Flanks are covered, you can post plant, you can blow up sites. They have a lot of options. Leviatán going for a little more standard here with the Harbor Omen. I think that this is more their speed, and I think that they really have the Harbor figured out specifically when we watch a map like ICEBOX, right? It's definitely a comfort pick for them, and this is again where 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people are on arguably their best agents. I don't know if Mizzino's the best Harbor in the world. I think that he's, pretty much up there in terms of the remaining teams that are playing it. But, even if he's on a flex here, like KO or Breach or something like that, I think that they're in a really, really good spot. So the Pistols, again, are going to be kind of seen here as the defenders, still bringing out a lot of sheriffs, kind of a thing that's going on now. G2, a team who has 2 light armors here. They went for 3 ghosts, so definitely possible that we can go for double body shots on those 3 people and try to, chip away at them rather than going for 1 taps. So aggro play coming out here on the lower ramp. Tex getting caught out, losing the deagle. Slow and steady is the name of the game. G2's going to slow it down. Poke some things, grab the orb, take their time, be set up in mid, get ready to use a star. They're sitting and waiting. They don't need to do anything right now. Regroup is coming in. Pullback star used there instead of a real one. Leaf is now in the vent room. Ends up pulling out of it. 2-2 spread here from Leviatán. I want to see G2 regroup and make a play here. They've abandoned all of the B space. I don't think it's realistic for them to go back. We need to see players in positions to actually make plays, and I think that Leaf is the one who's kind of jeopardizing this right now. I think he needed to pull out of mid in this position, pull his turret back, and rely on the alarm bot being in this spot, right? Because when you're spreading your resources thin, like in mid here, I would argue that you aren't really playing the advantage anymore, right? You don't have this like trading power. Icy, your entries drop down to 70. Trent drop down to 80. Both of them have no armor, even though, you don't have armor yourself, but being in a position where you do have full HP with the Ghost, I think the trading potential is there. I don't see the value of sitting in mid anymore. It's not something that I deem valuable. So, scaling's going to come out here. Aspas shooting in a clone. Clip dumping, and they're going to kind of get nervous here, and they're going to pause. They've invested so much. Clone, Sova util. They've only found 2 people. They've only found Aspas with the deagle, and they know about Calm being in that close position. Calm's going to walk it now. Full calling. It's B, it's B, it's B, it's B, it's B. Everybody go, everybody go. So now in a position where we're down to 30 seconds, right? Calm has us fully contained. What's new? He's flanking. I mean, holy shit, who wouldn't have thought that? Okay, 3 people now moving to B here, and 2 of them have sheriffs. This is going to be really hard to deal with in this situation. Excuse me, 3 of them have sheriffs. All 3 of the B players are going to have sheriffs against all of G2 who have no armor remaining. I mean, it's just going to be a cleanup. So, misplayed advantage here from G2. I think just a little bit of an overcomplication. That fake TP is going to confirm it. Leaf still not really in a position where he can make a play, just kind of gatekeeping mid almost. With the wall being up and the smoke being used, Leviatán are fine with letting them get the bomb down, right? They can just group and make a play. They can play for this front site area. Leaf's going to take a timing and mid. He's going to die. Valon's going to die from distance. Mizzino taking a fight heaven to the window there. So a 5v4 turned 2v4. I see barely converting that one. Jonah unable to convert. G2 Classic getting a lot of kills here. Nice reposition from Mizzino. Only 3 bullets left. Reload coming in, waiting for Calm, taking his time. Ring around the Rosie. Mizzino's got 4 with a defuse. He's about to have an ult. G2 in a good spot in Leviatán's bonus. Dimensional Drift going to be used on the mid aggro here. It's going to set up Leaf to make a play. I think I want to see him do it sooner rather than later. Off the fresh info rather than sitting and marinating in mid like this. Ice is going to clear everything out. He's going to form, clone, and go in with the Sova util. Bomb site's still a question mark. He's just sitting and waiting 5v5 here. Again, Leaf in a spot where he realizes that his alarm bot could have been smoked, but it's going to be pinged by Calm, who again is trying to flank. Flood attempt trying to come in here from Leviatán. The tap and hold is going to come out from G2 now. Sitting, waiting, seeing if he can get the bomb down. First blood. Another tap, making sure he's okay. Utility being used for him to get it down. He's going to be good. They have his cross. Here's Leaf with the man advantage, kind of just walking out mid here. Calm kind of outplaying him, knowing that Leaf is playing in mid, right? Because he pinged the alarm bot. He pinged the alarm bot initially in the round, so he knows that Leaf is somewhere around here, right? So on that, rotation where he repositioned, Leaf getting caught out walking up, we need to see someone pushing into Leaf for him to get contact. Until we get a big count on 3 or 4 players, whatever it ends up being. At the end of the day, they do have that. Leviatán are doing a great job of making it hectic, so I do understand his thought process. I just think he's playing a little too win condition oriented in terms of, being able to play for himself here. And the time that that's applicable specifically is in a round where the investment looks like this, right? They know the money isn't the greatest, right? We have the gravity well online. Okay, we can stop like that first tap. We can come back and spam. We're going to be okay. We got the first, and the second tap. You just kind of play your own timing there. Other way around, he's trying to walk up and make the play to win the round. 4v4 now. Man advantage gone. Valen close. Trying to back up to use his gravity well. Trent solo in the bomb site. Sitting. Waiting. Position revealed now. Look at the position here of Calm. He's infiltrated. He somehow got there. I mean, how many times is this guy going to be able to get away with this? Trent confused. Valen angle out dead. Jonah angle out dead. Leviatán convert the bonus. And it is not looking good. Leaf with another first death in mid here. I mean, pay attention to the spread of G2 here. Where is the weak side? Where is the strong side? I can't really tell. It looks like they're playing for multiple things at once, and we don't really see this team get flustered like this. That comeback, that choke in overtime, I think it's really affecting them here where it's snowballing out of control. They lose the pistol and the advantage. They lose the bonus and the advantage. They're clawing back. They're gaining some momentum. Again, an insane timeout here from Leviatán when they're up 4-2. They just completely halt the momentum and reset the situation. So now, let's look at the spread. Jonah, solo heaven. Trent trying to get up on the rope. Okay, Icy, solo bomb site. Valen, solo holding the flank, playing the post. What are we doing? What are we doing? Right? Can we just do something together? This is what this team is known for. I don't know how it could slip up like this. Trent, insane trade there, ends up sneaking out, trying to angle out, looking for a closer range kill. Another insane shot there. 3v3 now. Neural theft coming in. Valen with no gravity well right now. I see in a spot where he's going to try to fake go through the flash here and spam. Valen's going to die peeking off of it. 1v3 for IC. Unfortunate TP spot there. Aspas able to clean it up. Leviatán keep moving forward. Here we are again. Look at the minimap with these X's right now. We're going to pause when 2 come through. What is this? Solo fight left. Solo fight right. Trent sitting back. Leaf throwing lineup mollies. What are we doing, guys? How are we in a position where we are getting owned this hard with the utility that's online? Look how annoying of a player Mazzino is. Just peeking you, jumping at you, running at you. Great util usage. Bomb is coved. Leaf has to peek out. Full HP player dies, eating the bullet. Trent 1 HP clutch with a Hunter's Fury online. No conversion. The retakes have been unstoppable. We gotta take a look at this round from Leaf. I mean, holy shit. Talk about making up for your mistakes. Look at how good this guy is. Icy 1v1. Finally going to be able to get some momentum to his name here. Convert this kill onto Calm. G2 up to 3. This game isn't over just yet. So a lot of you are maybe expecting me to go over the last round where G2 suicide off the map. I have another video coming out today explaining that. It's about 10 minutes long, just my opinion on it. I don't really want to put it in this one to make the breakdown go really, really long. But if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, like the video, leave a comment, whatever it is. I read them all if you didn't know that. So now on this bonus, right? Win the round, win the game. G2 just made the decision to jump off in suicide to deny ult orbs. Like, as you can see, it's really equal because of that. Duelists are on 3, right? Everybody else is on 1 except for Mazzino. Okay, at the end of the day, it was a good decision in terms of if that is what they think wins the game. It doesn't actually matter what anybody else thinks. It matters what they think, and if that's their game plan, they can go for it. Ops online here. Aspas is going to bring out an attack op. He's going to slow the game down. He's going to realize that he has a potential to make plays here in terms of slowing it down and looking for opportunities. Outside of the fact of that, I think that Not that he's the best in the world, but Tex is one of the hardest people to play against when he's confident and when he feels like he has nothing to lose. How many times am I going to see this guy literally walk up a position by himself, get into some crazy deep spot, and just kill people? It's insane how many times he gets away with stuff like this. So the op's slowly working around. Tex jiggling out. He finds the operator. He's going to instantly leave. That is huge info. I do not know why Icy is not rotating right now. He needs to get out. Slowly moving away now. Tex is going to take Aspat's spot in mid. Drone and pressure being applied on A here. So no real setup coming in from G2 here. They haven't contested B enough, right? Jonah's in a spot where he's holding the line now, which is good, but the op was also here. Mid is a question mark. Not clear, don't really know what to do about it. Leaf is in heaven by himself. No util to deny the plant anymore. Valen spawned by himself. What's going on? How are we so loosely spread every single time? I feel like on defense that I've been watching. It's just crazy to see. Cove is going to go down here. Leaf trying to deny it. 2-3 guns posted on him. He's just going to do his best to break it, and that's it. Here's Tex. Who cares? Who cares what happens is what Tex is saying. He's like, all right, I'm up here. How is it, like, the spots that he gets into are just so hard to deal with. Even though he's only going to get one there. That just ruins the retake completely. Smokes are cycled. Valen getting sprayed. Leave with a trade. Aspas gets him next. 3v2 now. Trent and Jonah. What a shot from the kid. 2v2. Double post. Leviatán convert the bonus. And it's all over, man. So with G2 losing to Leviatán here, they're going to drop and play Fnatic. This video is being recorded in the time where I already know the result of that. So G2 have been eliminated from the tournament with Trace Esports as the first teams to bow out. At the end of the day, for whatever reason, a lot of people hated on this team. I don't know why. I don't know if it's a bias towards the organization or that one time when they tweeted the emoji with like the G2 classic in its mouth, cracking a joke during the mental health month or whatever it is. I don't know why this team gets so much hate. Everyone on this team is unproblematic. Never once have any of these players ever been involved with drama. They just stay in their own lane and they just work hard. They are the only Ascension team to make champs. They put themselves in a position where they didn't just make it, but they went into playoffs and they went out top 8 in the biggest event in the world in the year. They performed consistently throughout the year outside of kickoff, making a difficult decision to drop net. I don't really know the details beyond that, other than I think that they were probably looking for a little more firepower, and the ideas were starting to conflict between Net, Valen, and Josh, where they couldn't get on the same page, and there must have been some sort of indecision regarding that. They pick up Icy, okay, probably one of your most flexible duelists in the world, whether you view that as a good or a bad thing, because I think it's valid to view it as both. I think that it could be considered not a good thing that Icy is playing agents like Gecko sometimes, but I also think it could be viewed as a good thing where you're bringing out different comps, different approaches, where he isn't, your classic just like one trick who's going to take over the game. I see a little bit of a quiet season, but what you need to understand in terms of the context of that is this guy hasn't even played Challengers. He was in a position where he was playing a lot of Tier 3 Valorant. His opportunity the prior year was to join EG Reserve, where he didn't play any tournaments and he didn't do anything. He scrimmed, he was developed, absolutely. But this was his rookie year, and he made champs, so he should be really proud. Trent, Jonah, and Valen, again, these guys have been grinding for years. Took guard all the way through Ascension, won it, got dropped by their org, got picked up by a new one, defied the odds, shut people up. Leaf, standout player, #1 Sentinel in Americas easily, and he was in a position where he actually kind of like accomplished his goals of, going to these internationals consistently, performing. Give this team time, okay, whatever it means for them, a little bit of a reinvention of the system, more time to develop, keep getting better, and they are going to see results, and they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. Leviatán, on the other hand, again, shut me and everybody else up who was saying that they couldn't perform internationally. Tex with a little bit of a quieter series, but I mean 17 first engagements. At the end of the day, that is the confidence that we're talking about, how annoying he is to play with sometimes. Calm, have yourself a day, 1.5, 1.4 rating, 42 kills. Okay, occasional clutch, but the multi-killing was insane. Aspas King Mazzino, your standard players who are showing up all the time and getting the job done. If this team plays like they did today, they're going to win the tournament. It is very simple. It's not about how you start, it's about how you finish. Doesn't matter how shaky groups were, how shaky a regular season was. It is not about how you start. It is about how you finish. But that's all we got for today. Got more videos coming out. Trying to do 2 a day. Again, only been able to do that once or twice throughout the coverage here, but I'm still working towards it. Appreciate everybody's patience. Make sure you guys follow down on all the description or all the socials down in the description below, including my Twitch where I stream often. And if you want to get better at the game, join my Valorant Discord. Check out the options I have for coaching. I've been writing some guides in there as well. Could be good to take advantage of. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Hope you have a good day, night, whatever it is. T-Dog out of here. Deuces.